you've been a part of the Sticky Flames tournaments that we cast every Tuesday. Last Tuesday, oh my God, it was an endurance run. I casted solo by myself for 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for anybody who was listening to me for that long straight. It's challenging. And look at this. First ban, Skywrath Mage. I don't understand.
Is he in tournament version? I'd like to know, honestly.
Maybe the Valve, maybe perhaps they've changed it. Like, they had made him ready, perhaps, but I don't know. It doesn't make any sense because he just got in. I don't know. Well, anyways, we're looking at the first picks. Maybe we can just talk briefly about the first ban, Skywrath Mage. We will not be seeing in action this match. Wisp and also Phantom Lancer and Bat Rider. But first picks going for Meenix eSports, Nyx Assassin. And I think this is going to be our first game where we've seen Nyx Assassin played.
Definitely, yeah. I
10 seconds
like
remaining.
Swag has a pretty standard draft so far, picking up Darkseer and Magnus, two phenomenal teamfight heroes, two heroes that can work in a variety of different lanes, and they'll do well in them. So I'm interested to see how Meenix is going to respond to this very, very traditional draft so far.
Yeah, I think Swag's got some swag right now with their picks. I like the cut of their jib.
Okay, well, that's fair.
I think no, it's like you said. Like it's a very common composition that they're building so far. But you're looking at Nyx Assassin, and there was one thing I can point out about Nyx Assassin. I think in a tournament level play last Saturday when we were casting the eSports Missing Middle tournament last Saturday, we noticed that Nyx was actually picked quite a bit rather than banned. And a lot of the teams that played Nyx Assassin, they were more successful when they were playing him as a damage-oriented hero rather than a support-oriented build. Because like pretty much every team that had Nyx Assassin, if they played him as a support role, they lost. But if they played him as a damage-dealing role, they won. So I'm curious to see how Meenix eSports is going to be playing this Nyx Assassin. Are they going to go for like the Dagon build that you would normally see with a damage-dealing Nyx Assassin? So I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But this is a very, very interesting pick right now by Swag. I like seeing this. Bane. What are your thoughts about Bane there, Thomas?
So far, Swag just seems like they're drafting flavor. Well, I mean, I don't mean to say this is like a negative thing, but it seems like both teams are kind of just drafting the most popular heroes and bans that they've had, and even these bans look pretty standard. I mean, Gyrocopter, we've seen 2 games so far where he's been very effective, and the effectiveness of call down, especially flat cannon when you get a lot of those items up on him. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say. It just seems like Meenix and Swag know the metagame very well. They're drafting according to the meta that they know, and the meta is, sort of like this middle of the road-ish kind of a few push heroes, a few anti-push heroes, a few carries. Nyx Assassin's just a phenomenal overall ganker. He's an overall, he punishes position pretty well, I feel, and you can even get some Lifestealer bombs with Nyx Assassin, hopping in Nyx Assassin, going off invisible, and then 2-man gank on someone.
Yeah, it's really well put. I'm just curious, like for any of our viewers, like if you want to find out some information about metagaming, like like the latest trends for Dota, where would you look? Where would you get your info?
Well,
if you want to do some research.
The best way to do it would probably just be watching, G1 League qualifiers. Dota, the Good Studios Dota 2 Invitational just finished. DreamHack's happening in a few weeks, I believe. That is going to be having some Dota 2 action. That's the best place to go, the absolute best place to go. I might be doing some shameless self-promotion here, but I also work for esports organization, news organization called ESFI World. That is my main thing. I am not part of Esports Canada officially. We just released a competitive tier list for the Dota 2 scene for the past 2 months. So if you want to look at the heroes that are most picked or most banned, or that are seeing a lot of play, kind of where the game is, where the trends are going, that's a good site to go to. And finally, if you want to just look up just some general stats, you can go to dotaacademy.com. I think is a great site that just has a lot of great metrics and stats and stuff. Back to the draft, though. What do you think of the silencer pick, Andrew?
I'm just blown away by that detailed information that you just gave, because I think, you know, it's good to check in, you know, like for people that want to learn about it. Like, you know, sometimes, you know, you're looking at a pretty in-depth game like Dota, and for strategy and all that stuff, it can be a little overwhelming. So, anyways, thank you for that. Yeah, it's the silencer.
The biggest pick.
What the F is going on here? I've never seen silencer picked. Meenix eSports, a very controversial pick in my opinion, because you usually don't see silencer picked as much, at least for the majority of the matches I've seen and casted since the beginning of 2013. A very, very interesting pick. I like it. It's gonna make.
Love this pick. If you look at Swag's team.
Yeah.
Every single one of those is an alt that needs to be casted, that needs to be set up. And if Meenix wants to make these fights start happening, if Meenix is going to be the one initiating onto Swag, they're not going to have a chance to get their ults off for 6 seconds at least.
Yep. And that's going to hurt. And what's going to even hurt even more is the Templar Assassin in your face.
That's absolutely true as well.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she is there. Templar Assassin, we're going to expect her to see in the mid lane, of course. And, you know, I've noticed TA's kind of made a comeback in terms of carries that tournament-level players pick these days. Like, I've seen her a lot more being picked. So I like this team comp that Meenix Esports has going for it, and a very noted observation that you made just a moment ago, the silencer with that 6-second shutdown, that's really going to hurt, you know, this Darkseer Magnus and oh my gosh. Alchemist, very, very interesting pick for their final pick. Swag has got the swag of Alchemist. Lina, Bane, Magnus, and Darkseer, and our players are going to be picking. This is our 3rd round of Armata Open. The tournament being casted here by yours truly, eSC Devo, and of course with me right now, Thomas. And yeah, we're going to get right underway. What do you think of this Alchemist, though?
I like it. I was very curious as to see who they were going to draft for their carry. You know, they didn't really have. I'm sorry, I'm going to be laughing every single time I see this decal on the ground. If you go over to Swag's side of the map, and if you look at their decal that they have on the ground there.
Oh yeah, there we go. There's the swag.
Yeah.
There's the bling. And look at the courier. I don't think I've seen this one before.
That is the Inky the Octopus. I think you got that one for purchasing a G1 ticket.
That's awesome.
It is very cool. In the meantime, I think we can introduce our teams.
Yeah,
if you want to go ahead with Swag.
Yeah, absolutely. Magnus. We got Squee playing Magnus, the Jesus, the underscore Jesus. There we go, I got it right. Is going to be playing Darkseer. Blink is going to be playing Lena. Spooderman's going to be playing Bean. Smitty, Jaggerman's going to be playing Alchemist. And wow, what a tongue tie. But before we continue on, I just want to make a motion to the Dire jungle area. The entire Swag team, with all their swag, is moving through the jungle. Lifestealer chilling right there, waiting for the rune, but something else is awaiting him on that ledge. Darkseer sees what's up, and Lifestealer, I don't know if he knows.
You better hope this is an invisibility or a haste rune. Oh my god.
Oh my god, look at the oh my god, there's Lifestealer. Definitely running away.
Oh no.
Look at the Sentry Ward dropped by Bane, going in for that first blood. There's Lena with that spell, but the Nightmare is a shot on her.
Oh my god, he missed the stun!
Alchemist casting that stun on himself. I don't know if you can get any luckier if you're Lifestealer. He picks up the invisibility rune, and then Bane comes in with that Sentry Ward, and then everything that could go wrong went wrong with the spell casting by Lena and Alchemist, and lucky Lifestealer, and that's... Wow, Meenix is lucky.
Yeah, that was... I mean, I hate that I'm influencing things, but I said, if he better hope that's a haste rune or invisibility rune, it's an invisibility rune. Alchemist missing the stun. They got a Sentry Ward out of that. They got a lot of lost time, I feel, on bot lane. Their team has... Where's the guy in bot lane?
I don't know. I really think people are listening to you, though, dude. Something's listening to you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're calling shit that's being heard. Look at this. Darkseer right now in a little bit of trouble with that Neeks and Caudle. Darkseer casting that Ion Shell. There's an Impale by the Neeks Assassin. And going in for the first blood right there is TA as well. Neeks Assassin. Whoa, look at this. Magnus coming in there with that skewer on Templar Assassin. And now it's Templar Assassin who's in big trouble. Taking a lot of damage by that tower. No first blood to be found for either team as TA limps away. And look at the mask she has, eh?
That's a very cool outfit for TA.
That's a sexy outfit. I like it. That's nice. I've never seen it before. It's the first time.
Well, the way they're laning this, I think Swag has realized that this bot lane was going to be an aggressive tri lane, and so they just decided to give up this bot lane. They feel that Silencer is not going to be that big of a threat if they just let him down here free farm. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see how it plays out. But this aggressive tri-lane against Nyx is something that I do kind of agree with. I don't really like how Alchemist is going to be competing with experience and with last hits. Well, I mean, he should be competing with last hits, but I mean, he's going to be competing with experience for these these three players up here. And it looks like that Nyax got a sleep on. Nyx got a Nyax Lifestealer got a sleep on him. Alchemist unfortunately going to blow himself up again, and it might actually cost him.
Yeah, and it looks like, there we go, going in for that first blood is Lifestealer, picking off that Alchemist, but it is Lifestealer who's actually the recipient of a killing blow by Lena, and now Lena has her eyes set on Caudle, doing a lot of damage there, and an interesting turn of events. I feel bad for that Alchemist, not doing too well with getting the stun off.
Absolutely. Seems like he's waiting for the last possible second to throw it, but it's not really working out too well for him. That's that's the first death on Alchemist, but the second time he's messed up his stun. Meenix is transitioned to a tri-lane top to kind of get some space for this Lifestealer. I do agree with this a lot, but at the same time, Darkseer has gone down on bot lane to kind of put some pressure on the Silencer that he doesn't have a complete free farm lane. Yeah, but what's been going on in the middle?
It's an interesting turn of events right now. Well, not turn of events. There we see Magnus going in there against that Templar Assassin, and Templar Assassin taking quite a bit of damage and having to back off a little bit. And right now she's sitting on at 11 creep kills, and against Magnus 10. So going up to that top lane, however, we still see this tri-lane going tit for tat with that Lifestealer Caudle. And yeah, you know, oh, there we go, Neeks Assassin going in there with that mana burn on Lena, having to back off. But yeah, you know, I'm looking at this Alchemist in this tri-lane. It's an interesting decision.
When you think about that first game we watched, I believe it was a tri-lane with Undying. Who was it? It was Undying, and then it was Keeper of the Light and one
Shadow
other hero.
Demon?
Perhaps it was Shadow Demon, yeah. Oh, it looks like there's going to be some action up on top lane, though.
Yeah, Lena's in all sorts of trouble right there. There goes the Lifestealer taking out the Lena. Bane, though, trying to do what he can to get some damage on that Lifestealer. Neeks Assassin's all in Bane's face, forcing him to pull back for the moment and having him cast that healing salve. But yeah, 2 kills right now for Lifestealer, and he is the one you want beefed up and farmed, sitting at 900 gold, 13 last hits. All systems go right now for Meenix and Meenix's Lifestealer.
Well, at least Alchemist landed a stun.
Yeah. If try again. You know, if you fail once, you keep going with it, right? So, fail once, fail twice, but third time, you got it. So with that said, a little bit of tower damage taken by that Lifestealer, having him to back off for the moment. Just turn our attention over to the jungle area. The dire jungle. We see Caudle farming away there on the in the jungle, and also Neeks Assassin over here pulling those creeps. Pulling down the creep wave into the neutral camp area. So smoke right now by Alchemist, Bane, and Lena, and it looks as though they're making their way near that top rune area. And Silencer pulling off his ult, and Darkseer just a moment ago taking down that Silencer taking down that Darkseer. And look at this mid right now. We see Magnus rushing in against that Templar Assassin. The jig is up. We see Alchemist, Lina, Bane. Everybody going in there. That Courier almost being taken down. Reverse polarity cast by Magnus. And now it is Templar Assassin taking a crap load of damage and going invisible right there with that meld, but it's not going to be enough. Lina poning Templar Assassin. 3-3 is the tie, just past the 3-3 tied score between Swag and Meenix just at the 6.5-minute mark of the match.
Yeah, that was a great smoke gank on Templar Assassin. I don't feel like she was getting too out of control, but it looks like they're doing a bit of lane swapping here. Alchemist is going down bot, switching it up with Darkseer, who's now going top. I feel like maybe Lina and Bane are going to start playing a more of a roaming role. They're going to try and keep the pressure on Meenix with some good snares and good stuns, lockdowns. We'll see how Meenix responds to this, because now it looks like Alchemist is in the bot lane, and you think this is going to allow him to get quite a bit of farm, or not, apparently, because Silencer has something to say about it.
Yeah, Silencer's making sure that Alchemist actually has nothing to say about it with that silence casted on him. Right. Yeah, Silencer doing a pretty good job for himself right now with 34 last hits, and he's not really being opposed by Swag at the moment. So really interesting events unfolding right here in the bottom lane. We do see Neek's Assassin just chilling in the woods right there to help out that Silencer. Meanwhile, in that creep camp area, we see Lina pulling the Radiant creeps up into that camp area, and Silencer and Neek's Assassin know what's up. They're going in there. And ping being casted there by Lina to get the attention of this Alchemist. And look at this, Magnus TPing in there. And there's Bane, and it is big trouble right now for Meenix. They are surrounded by Swag's players, and there's a Shockwave, and Silencer being taken down by Bane. Big play right there, heads up for Lina on that ping. And now Caudle could be caught here as well. And there's Magnus with a nice skewer and a reverse polarity, making it worth his while. Caudle, even though grabbing that regen rune, actually it's Magnus that caught that regen rune, I apologize. Real nice play there by Squee. And look at this, Bane now setting up a kill possibly here against that Neek's Assassin. Nice Carapace being casted there to negate that stun by Alchemist, but it's not going to be enough. Bane's going to get that kill. 6-3 lead for Swag, but real hats off play for Magnus there with that skewer on that Caudle and the reverse polarity. That was fantastic.
That was an outstanding play, and I do think it was a little sloppy for Meenix to kind of just be running around. I don't feel like Caudle needed to be there. We'll see what they can do on this counterattack on bot lane, and I think that they're going to actually do something pretty nice down here if they manage to pull it off, and they are unfortunately unable to.
No, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Bane taking quite a bit of damage by that Illuminate casted by that Caudle, and pretty much it's just going into defense mode for Meenix right now as they defend that bottom tier 1 tower. And this is a decisive move right now. We do see well, not a decisive move, but a move nonetheless. Seen that Bane making a little bit of a retreat going into the jungle area. Meanwhile, though, we now see Neek's Assassin, Silencer, and Caudle making an aggressive stance on this bottom lane on that tower. Not sure how this is going to play out for them, though. Illuminate casting right now by Caudle will hit all 3 of Swag's players, and a silence also given their, last word. And booyah, there goes Bane. Big play right there. And look at this. Swag is in a little bit of trouble right now, being forced into the woods, and Caudle once again getting that Illuminate off. And there's Neek's Assassin going in there saying hello, bye-bye. Neek's gets the kill on Lina, and look at this. Now it's Alchemist running away, and Silencer all up in Alchemist's face, and it looks like he's going to be able to get away. Just barely, though. Up in that top rune area, the bottom rune area, we see Templar Assassin making our way back, and Magnus making his way back to that mid lane. But a lot of action unfolding right now in that bottom lane area. The tri-lanes, it's interesting how this has transitioned from the tri-lanes that we saw on the top. They've transitioned down in the bottom, and it's definitely, it seems to be kind of tit for tat in terms of the killing blows that we've seen for both these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And during that whole fracas down bottom, Nyax actually got killed by Darkseer, and it looks like they're going to be looking for that Darkseer kill again, or sorry, rather that Nyax kill again, because we have Magnus, Bane, and Darkseer all hanging out up top.
Yeah, it looks to be the case, and there's
And
Bane
there it
with
is,
that
the Fiend's grip.
That Fiend's grip is deadly. Lots of damage, but really Lifestealer in a lot of trouble now. That reverse polarity, but look at this Neek's Assassin. He's trying to put a stop to that with that nice impale. But really, it's not going to be enough, though. Templar Assassin taking down that Darkseer, and now it's Neek's Assassin who's on the run. But TA getting in Bane's face, taking him down. Bane is out for the moment, and there's Magnus trying to get away with that skewer TP combination. Anybody there with the stun? No. Magnus is actually going to be able to get away. Real nice play there with the skewer TP. Definitely saving him from certain death.
I'm very happy that Meenix decided not to take that line down. They definitely responded very well to that gank, that very aggressive play top. I mean, they used 2 ults just for Nyax, or just for Lifestealers. So I mean, they had to get something out of it, and I think it's great that they managed to get 2 kills out of it.
Yeah, it was good to see, and this is a real close match. I like what I'm seeing here. Just looking at the XP graph right now, not much really difference between experience between the Radiant and the Dire. As for gold, it is slipping a little bit away with a 3,000 gold advantage right now for the Dire, and just going into that top rune area right now, we see Magnus doing all sorts of damage to that Caudal, taking him down. But now it's Magnus in a little bit of trouble and is running away. Bane right there with casting that Nightmare and just putting a stop to TA's progression. And just an interesting choice of items. It looks as though TA is going to be going for that early BKB, picking up that Ogre Club and sitting on phase boots with that bottle. And look at this Alchemist farming away, really kind of slow in the early going in the early portion of this match, only sitting on 26 last hits. So we see him transitioning. He started top lane, moved down to the bottom lane, and now he's mid lane to go against TA. And so far, not so good, I think, for this Alchemist, is just kind of struggling, I think, in the early goings of this match in terms of farm. Going now, right now, the Lina in a little bit of trouble. TA, and they're casting that Refraction. Oh, nice Wall of Replica being cast there, but that Darkseer, but really to no avail. Whoa, wait a second, though. Vacuum cast by Darkseer and the Surge. There's Magnus in there with that Skewer, reverse polarity as well. And it is Lifestealer who's been taken down. Magnus is on a killing spree, and Silencer and TA just standing there in disbelief. And Neek's Assassin in a little bit of trouble with that Bane in pursuit of him. Neek's Assassin trying to use those creeps to shelter him, but the creeps could actually land up getting a killing blow on him. But look at this, Bane in all sorts of trouble. Silencer getting the last hit there. 10-10 is the score, just approaching the 14-minute mark. Meenix and Swag are giving us a very equal-looking match, at least in the beginning of it anyway.
Definitely. I mean, these teams are trading so evenly. Great reactions from both sides. I mean, they're responding to the ganks. They're initiating the ganks. The gold graph is a little bit in the side of the Dire. I think that has a lot more to do with the fact that Alchemist hasn't really hasn't really had a chance to stand in the lane and really let that Grievel's Greed do its work. He's always been being pushed out of the lane. For example, this Caudal seemed to be hounding this Alchemist just anywhere he goes, try and get him out of the lane. So I mean, I'm glad about it, and this is you're absolutely right. This has been a fantastic game so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it plays out. This Darkseer looks like he's gonna get caught though.
Yeah, there's that Vendetta that was cast at her and an Impale, and now it's Darkseer who, is in a little bit of trouble, but lo and behold, look at this, Bane is there casting that Nightmare, slowing the progression by that Neek's Assassin, but it's not enough, though. Silencer does get the killing blow there on that Darkseer, and success for them.
Yeah, Meenix is, I think, doing a far better job at being more active on the map. This Lean and Bane roaming combo is quite deadly, but at the same time, I don't feel like they've been using it to its full extent. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Nyx Assassin is always in danger of being just invisible right beside you. And I mean, Nyx Assassin, or Lina and Bane are just food for Nyx Assassin, essentially.
Oh yeah, totally, and we're seeing right now once again this Neek's Assassin with his Vendetta, about 10 seconds left on the cooldown, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be looking for catching possibly Lina and Alchemist, who are defending that mid tower right now. But actually, it looks as though Neeks and Coddle, they're going to be making their way down to that bottom lane. And then let us not forget, though, up in that top lane, look at this Fiend's Grip casted on Lifestealer. Lifestealer in a lot of trouble. Silencer getting his ult off, very well saving Lifestealer for the moment. And that silenced Magnus. And Magnus, he wasn't able to get that reverse polarity. And if he did, I think that would have been lights out for Lifestealer for sure. But yeah, I wanted to point out that Lifestealer is sitting at 75 last hits and has that armlet sitting now in his inventory that's being sent to him by courier. And look at this, Neeks Assassin mid lane right now. I set on that Alchemist Refraction casted by TA, Impale, Vendetta, Mana Drain, all sorts of bad news for Alchemist. He'll be out for 30 seconds. TA is on a dominating streak now, and very close now to that BKB. And going top lane right now, we do see Lifestealer with that rage, and it is Lina getting a nice stun off. Despite the fact that Lumine was casted on Lina, and she's barely going to be able to get away. Possibly no. Silencer, who's dominating, got the last word on her, but it ain't over yet. Yeah, just trading killing blow after killing blow are these two teams. But actually, correction on that. That's 3 unanswered kills by Meenix now, who seem to be on a little bit of a kill streak. For the time being, anyway.
Absolutely, Meenix is just punishing these poor positions from Team Swag. Swag is just disjointed. They seem like the Darkseer is in top lane, and their Alchemist is in the jungle now, and this jungle isn't safe. There's a decent counter ward, or there's decent offensive ward here. Just overlooking the river there, and this Nyx Assassin. Look at him. He's just prowling the jungle. He's just looking for people to kill. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to take this Alchemist on one-on-one, but I mean, he's just there. The threat of him there is just enough to give this Radiant team pause.
Yeah, it's definitely putting them out of sorts, I'm sure. Like, and I'm kind of surprised to see the lack of sentry wards by Swag in response. And look at this. Big time action in the middle. BKB having to be cast by TA. Will she get away? It's difficult to say. I think she is. No. Wait a second.
Does look like she gets away, yes.
Does get away, and now not leaving the action by any means. We do see Lifestealer closing in on that Magnus, successfully taking him down. There's Coddle with the Illuminate, and 3 of Swag's players being taken down in that engagement. Didn't work out too well for them, that being Bane, Lina, and Magnus. So pretty big play here by Meenix. 6 unanswered kills now, and Meenix is picking up a little bit of momentum as we see that Tier 1 tower under threat now.
I definitely feel like Swag has lost the momentum that they had in the early game. They had a few nice kills going on when they were running around with their combo. That Lina-Bane combo was very effective. Even Magnus was going around and getting some kills on on Nyax. But now I feel like it's swinging back in the favor of Meenix. I feel like they've asserted their authority. This Nyx Assassin has done an amazing job at just putting the threat of death in the head of any of these intelligence heroes to go out without an escort, go out without someone else watching their back, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. It seems to be the case. Meenix is picking up a lot of momentum, really. Looking at the experience right now, the Meenix has almost a 10,000 lead on experience and almost a 10,000 lead on gold. So Swag has lost a little bit of their swagger early in the 20-minute mark of this match. 16-10 is the lead for Team Meenix over Swag, and all systems go for them. But Swag, they do have an Alchemist who has picked up a little bit of farm, has that Maelstrom right now. However, it is TA. That BKB is there. Invisibility rune being pointed out by that Nyx Assassin. And now we see the Templar Assassin going in, is going to bottle that invisibility rune, so we're going to see possibly something happening from there. But Swag up on that top lane right now, putting a lot of pressure on that Tier 1 tower, and look at this, Templar Assassin TPing in there, Refraction being cast, Lifestealer who had that Fiend's Grip cast on him, and now it is Bane in all sorts of trouble being taken down, giving that mega kill streak to that Templar Assassin. Lina just trying to stay away from this fight, and there's a Darkseer wall of replica all sorts of trouble now for Team Meenix, losing Templar Assassin, Lifestealer, Neeks Assassin in that team fight, but Swag not without its casualties, Magnus being taken out, and Bane and that team fight. So a little bit of a response to the 8 kills that we've just seen recently by Team Meenix, picking up 3 kills right there. So they're going to continue their pressure on that top tier 1 tower that's really low enough and good to go.
I mean, if you want to talk about momentum, you know, Swag has just been like, look, all right, you guys got some good kills on us. This is what we can do. That was an outstanding RP from Magnus, an even better wall of replica. And if you want to talk about just the facts, Meenix lost 2 of their carries and Nyx Assassin, who has been an instrumental part of their game so far. But just losing your 2 carries, that's quite a bit of gold loss coming out from Team Meenix. So I mean, I don't know where the ult from Silencer was. I didn't see when it got off, but it was a great show of force by Team Swag.
Yeah, it definitely was a great show of force. It was really, it was refreshing to see too, because they needed that because of the fact that Meenix was like really picking up a lot of kills. So, and really now Swag is maybe they got their swag back, maybe because now they're forcing that tier 1 tower. And look at this, being caught out of position there was the Darkseer and Meenix saying, "Hey, no. Well, you're not going to get your swag back." And now it's Lena who's in a little bit of trouble. Silencer getting that last word on Lena is going to take a good chunk of little damage right there. And yeah, Meenix is holding their own that mid lane. Nice defense right there. Magnus, who has resumed doing his duties and taking down those creeps mid lane. But yeah, Meenix is defending that mid tower. Meanwhile, up in that top lane right there, we see that Lifestealer sitting on a good chunk of gold right now. 116 last hits, 2,500 gold, and he's a rich little Lifestealer right now.
Absolutely. I'm kind of wondering where he's going to be going with this. I don't know what his second item is going to be, but he got his armlet, and I don't know what he's going to follow it up with.
Yeah, it's kind of, would you say a Hand of Midas, perhaps? Or, like, at this stage of the game?
I think
like,
Midas is a bit late. I think definitely what you want to start with. So, maybe an Assault Cuirass, maybe...
An Abyssal Blade?
An Abyssal Blade,
yeah.
Some sort of thing that just increases damage more.
It's kind of interesting to see where this is going to be going, but meanwhile, we see this Templar Assassin just hammering away at those Ancients that were nicely stacked for her. I think probably by that Coddle, not too sure actually, but right now Neeks Assassin just chilling around in the Radiant Jungle. But it looks to be something's going to be happening here. A nice skewer there by that Magnus pushing that Silencer. Yeah, the Force Staff, man, that was nicely played there by the Silencer. Real good play. And pretty much it's the battle for the river, folks, because it doesn't look like anybody wants to overly commit themselves right now because both teams are in a precarious position right now. You don't want to overextend yourself at this point, right?
Definitely, you're absolutely right. You got to think, though, Meenix can do this. Meenix can kind of stay as a 4 or 5 stack, and they won't be too far behind because they've have more XP, they have more gold. You know, even their supports are have a higher level than them. Magnus kind of whiffs his blink and skewer there, but you know they got to start making something happen. It looks like Swag realizes that. Well, it looks like they realized that, and then they backed off.
Yeah, they have backed off, and I'm seeing right now that Meenix is they got their eyes set on that Roshan, but they're really playing. They're flirting with the idea. I think.
No, I definitely think they're just trying to bait Team Swag into some sort of, you know, one of them going in trying to check to see if they're doing it, and then they're just kind of ambush them. I think that's what all 3 of them up top is for. Oh, look at this great psychic trap from TA, and oh, there's open wounds on Bane.
Yeah, open wounds on Bane. Bane taking a lot of damage, but Fiend's Grip is the response. But Impale, we'll see Bane sit down for a couple of moments. And there's Alchemist having that Muljoner, a powerful item right there for him. And pretty much the only casualty right now was Bane. And looking at the advantage of numbers, it looks like Meenix is going to take advantage of this opportunity. And yes, they are going to go for that Roshan. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see, though. I'm not sure if Swag is going to respond.
I don't think they can. I actually don't think they can answer this Roshan push. I mean,
Well, wait a second though. There's a push right there by Magnus. Carapace being casted, and a nice force staff to get Neek's assassin out of trouble was Silencer. I love that item. Force staff is
that's a great item. Yeah, absolutely.
It's so much. It's great, and you know what else is great? This Lifestealer. He has the Aegis, has a Hyperstone now, and yeah, it's definitely. You're definitely seeing some momentum here by Meenix. Now with that Aegis, so now they are in a position to do a nice push. But look at this, Neek's Assassin just casting that ult, that Vendetta, and request for a pause for the moment. Not sure if it's a connection issue or something, but good game. Good game so far.
It has been excellent. That was a great pick off to get Bane, and doing that allowed them to open up Roshan for a kill. And so far, it's coming down to it. It's like I said, Meenix is playing 5-man Dota, essentially. Lifesteal is off doing his own thing, but I mean they're playing 4-man Dota, but they can do that because they have more experience. They have the TA there to give them a little bit of damage. On the other hand, you know, Team Swag is playing. You know, they're just trying to catch up. The Alchemist he's behind. There's no other way of putting it. I mean, if you just look at the levels, he's behind by a level from Nyax. So it's going to be on Swag to start putting on the pressure for ganking, for pushing, and I mean there's one tier, one tower left bottom, and I think that's where we're going to see our next engagement.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case right now. Maybe. You know, since we're paused, maybe we can take a quick look at items. So I'll just call it out as I see it. Just looking at Swag right now, Magnus is sitting on a Blink Dagger, that bottle rune, the bottle that he has in his inventory. Bane, really not much to be said for him, only having a boots of just the boots and the Sage's Mask. Darkseer, however, is sitting on a Mechanism, Soul Ring, and Arcane Boots. And who else am I looking at here? Lena. Not too much else to be said right now. Arcane Boots and the Urn of Shadows. And then in the bottom lane for Alchemist, he's doing pretty well. I like that item. The Mol. How do you say the Mol'jir?
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. I always mess that up. Gosh. Darn it. But yeah, the Mjolnir, pretty good item, and it's good to see that Alchemist finally has that. It's a little late in the game, in my opinion, at 26 minutes, but it's good. I guess you can. I would bank on the fact that he's probably going to go for that. What do you think he's going to go for that BKB next?
Oh, I'm sorry. I definitely think a BKB isn't out of the question. If we look at the other team, though, it's really Nyx Assassin who's the only one who has a really hard lockdown. I mean, Lifestealer has his slow, of course, and Coddle has his mana leak, but Nyx Assassin is the only one who's got a really hard disable. Of course, Global Silence goes through BKB, I believe, and it would be nice to be immune from all of that magic damage that Silence is putting out with his last word, of course. So I think BKB is a fair bet, Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So let's see now for Meenix. Templar Assassin has that BKB. Really hasn't changed too much in terms of items in the past or at least.
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that she's been more active with her supports like Nyx Assassin and Silencer, working on ganking more than just farming. And of course, she's taken a few deaths because of that.
Yeah, she's taken her licks.
Silencer is a pretty surprising. He's got a pretty good amount of farm. If you look at him, he's got this 4-staff drum, ultimate orb, power treads. He's got a decent kit going on.
And it makes sense too. I mean, like, he has 105 last hits, but really he wasn't left opposed on that bottom lane. Like, I found that he had a pretty easy time farming. I mean, they had Alchemist down there at one point, and melee is not really going to do too much in terms of denying creeps against you. So Silencer really hasn't had much of a opposition in terms of him getting his farm. And yeah, we see right now he's sitting on that ultimate orb too. So yeah, Silencer's looking pretty good. Did you talk about Keeper?
I did not look at Keeper's items. It looks pretty good. He's got his mechanism, and he's got a pair of bracers, which is going to help him stay alive a bit longer. And Tranquil Boots is always a nice touch.
You know, I'm always wondering about bracers, you know, if it's an item that's even worth getting, because even with that, it definitely helps with survivability to an extent, but he's so squishy. And I always find, like, you know, an effective keeper, you usually never see him on the map. Like, if you're after him, like if he's an opponent, usually the only thing, like whenever I play a good keeper, the only thing I ever see is the Illuminate. Never keeper.
Yeah, I mean, you have a point. Oh, it looks like we're unpausing the game now.
All right.
That was a great little roundup of everything that's been going on in this game so far. And now back to the action.
Yeah, back to the action indeed. Just looking down at that bottom lane right now, we do see Alchemist, I don't know, I guess he wants to go for a picnic or something. He's chilling in the woods, not doing too much. Nyx Assassin, Templar Assassin, the Assassins are assassinating the wards, making their way up to that mid lane right now, making a defense against Swag's push for that mid tower. Meanwhile, up top, Lifestealer, unopposed, just making his way down to that tier 2 tower, still sitting on that Aegis, and a lot of gold right now with 2,500 gold. Just take maybe a quick look at net worth, and yeah, he's right up there with Silencer leading the way for net worth, and yeah, pretty much like, yeah, three of Meenix's players, they're well ahead in terms of net worth, so you know, right now the numbers are clearly, I think, in their favor, you know, in terms of gold and experience. So Templar Assassin just activating that illusion rune, going to use that to help take down some of those ancients, and meanwhile, it's kind of interesting. I think maybe a smoke gank is happening right now. Oh no, it doesn't look like it actually. They were just they were standing there like they were ready to pop it, but no smoke in the inventory.
The game's kind of slowed down a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I think that pause kind of took the wind out of out of the sails for both of these teams. It looks like they're kind of regrouping right now, in terms of, I guess, strategy, or
you
like,
did call the smoke gank, and now smoke is gone. Magnus, Lina, Bane, and Darkseer are all now smoked, and it looks like they're going to be joining up with this Alchemist to push top lane. Whereas Meenix doesn't look like they're responding to it. It looks like I believe they know the smoke is off. They don't know where they are on the map, and they're just kind of hanging around their towers, and no one wants to get caught out. This is a brilliant move by Meenix eSports. I'm really a fan of this. I mean, you don't see anybody on the map. You know Roshan.
And look at this,
down,
there's smoke.
They smoke themselves.
Yeah. Smoke versus smoke. We're going to see who's going to come out on top of this one. Still, Swag still smoked up, and Alchemist is there. Alchemist, the smoke wears off. Magnus, Darkseer, Lina, everybody revealed. And here comes Meenix. Do they got the mean streak going for them right now? They're moving right in. There's Coddle going in, casting that Illuminate, and then the Aegis has been spent on Lifestealer. And now it is Swag making a retreat. There's Bane going down, and Darkseer, Swag in big trouble, and Alchemist is in all sorts of trouble as well with that Mana cast by Coddle. Stun on Lifestealer's not going to be able to do too much, and Alchemist being taken down. TA with that double kill, and really, like you just said a moment ago, that was really well played by Meenix.
I'm not sure if Swag forgot about the Aegis, or if they just really wanted to get it down, but I do not think 3 heroes for the Aegis is worth it at all.
No, definitely not, and it's really going to cost them by the looks of it, because right now Darkseer Alchemist still waiting to be resurrected in the pool, and it looks as though that tier 2 top tower is up for grabs, and Meenix has their sights set on it. And there is Templar Assassin casting that psionic trap. And here we go. Yes, they have their eyes set on that. And look at this. Infest on TA, TPing in there, but Lifestealer doesn't pop out until now. And now they have the pressure on that tier 2 tower. It's just totally being ignored. And Meenix is really showing some confidence here, really diving deep into that Radiant base. And Swag just kind of, I don't know, man. They're just kind of waiting it out right now to see what the next move is, and Lifestealer is just poised and ready to go, and yes, that tier 2 tower is going to be going down. And we're going to see a little bit of a response here. Alchemist casting that acid spray, but it's really just a little scratch at this point on the lifestealer. Not going to be doing too much damage or slowing anybody down, but here we go. Magnus is in there now. Looking to defend this tower, and there we go. Illuminate being casted by that Caudal. And it seems that Meenix is kind of feigning a retreat right now, and we're going to see a response, though. Swag coming in there. We see Lifestealer getting that rage off, and now Magnus is in all sorts of trouble. We talked about it earlier, folks. There's that silence. RP being cast, but to no avail. Bane going down. Magnus is down. Darkseer's down, even though that wall of replica being cast, and it's pretty much a team wipe for Team Swag. And yes, there goes the Alchemist. Lena, oh no, is the call for Swag. Meenix getting the upper hand in that one, only suffering one casualty, that being Caudal. And now the pieces are set, or the board is set and the pieces are moving, folks. Meenix is moving in to take down that tower. Now with Bane just coming back up, but still a good 15 seconds to do some more structural damage as they have their sights set on that tier 3 tower, looking to take that Rax.
Yeah, that was just a resounding, very good play from Meenix. They feigned that retreat so well. They had that Caudal that was kind of just standing there and was like, oh look, I'm out of position, come get me, sort of thing. And then next thing you know, TA. Next thing you know, Nyx Assassin. Next thing you know, Lifestealer. All of them just come out of the woodwork, and then they just rolled over them. I mean, they focused the Magnus down very quickly, and it's like we said at the draft. If Meenix is going to decide when these fights happen, this team isn't going to be able to cast their spells for 6 seconds. But Silencer is just going to say, "Hey, shut everybody up," and then that's going to be it. 6 second silence, and that's going to give enough time, I feel, to kill some of the more critical team fighters on the Swag team.
And especially now, like when you're looking at Lifestealer and TA, like they're so strong, and of course Nyx Assassin can set up a nice impale. So yeah, Silencer has the muzzle on Swag, and they really are dictating the fights. And you have to really start thinking now, how are you going to respond to this if you're Swag?
The most obvious answer is smoke ganks. I mean, smoke ganks gives you the element of surprise, so to speak. You know, if you don't see it, obviously don't see them coming, and then the next thing you know, the enemy team's right there.
Oh
the
man!
Problem is going to be this Nyx Assassin is just doing such a great job of being out on the map. It looks like they're going to get this Alchemist.
Yeah, Alchemist in a little bit of trouble, and Vendetta, all sorts of damage Alchemist is taking right now. And look at this TA with that BKB, just so much damage. She's just wanting Swag to engage in a team fight right now. And now it is that bottom tower that is up for grabs. Meenix has their eyes set on that. And we see TA just waiting in the woods right now, waiting for one of Swag's members to overstep their bounds a little too much. And we see a Psionic Trap being cast. Is she going to go for it? No, it's just a little bit of an aggressive stance by Meenix. And they get that tower. Silencer picking off that tower, getting that extra 500 gold. But really, yeah, Swag's in a little bit of trouble, just losing another structure and another casualty, that being Alchemist. So.
Yeah, and that's their most important hero right now at this point. Naya and Lifestealer he's a strong hero, man, and Alchemist is also a very strong hero, but he needs that farm, like desperately needs that farm. And Lifestealer's level 18, Alchemist is level 16. He just got his BKB, so we're gonna see if that. Do you think that's gonna affect the fights coming up at all, Andrew? Do you think that's really gonna play a crucial role in the fights when you consider some of the abilities in this other team?
I think it would play a role if Alchemist can do a little bit more damage than what he is. If he's focusing a little bit more on damage dealing items now, because otherwise BKB, what is it really going to do for you, at this point in the game? And now with that said, we got smoke gank set up by Swag, and again, Thomas, they're listening. They are trying to respond to this Meenix team. 29-14 is the kill count, just passing the 35-minute mark of the match. Silencer, the only hero. Well, actually now it's Caudal reinforcing that mid tower. And yeah, here we go. Alchemist going in there. Nice TP in there. Reverse polarity with the skewer. It's Silencer who's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be silenced for at least a minute. And now that tier 1 tower is up for grabs. Big play there by Swag. However, there's the BKB by TA. She wants a piece. Neeks Assassin jumping into the battle with that interesting item. Just noticing it now. That's Blink Dagger. And look at this. Alchemist doing a lot of damage, actually. Look at this. Coddle. Whoa, wait a second. It is Lena taking down Neeks Assassin. Alchemist has been also taken down. Darkseer has pwned Keeper of the Lights. And wow, interesting turn of events here in middle, but it's not over. A Scythe of Vice on Bane, and it is Lifestealer taking it down. Lena as well. It's triple kill now for Silencer. It is a team wipe.
Beautiful buyback from Silencer. I just gotta say, you were doing an excellent play-by-play of that fight and how it broke down. But I have to say, one of the critical parts of that fight was Silencer buying back and TPing in on that tier 1 tower. And then I thought to myself, because Swag got that pick. Excuse me, Swag got that pick off, and then I was like, oh, that was very well done. And then they looked like they were going to get out scot-free. And then Silencer, and then Meenix was responding to that, and then they TP'd in. They all went on, and I was like, okay. And then I saw Silencer bought back, and I'm like, okay, well, Silencer's just going to ult now, and then hope for the best. But he saved his ult. He TP'd into the tower, and then he did an excellent job cleaning up the fight. He cleaned up. Well, you saw he got a triple kill, right?
Yep.
And now that opened up the Roshan again, and there you go. Meenix with another Aegis.
Yeah, Lifestealer picking up that Aegis, and just looking at his items, he has that Salt Cuirass and a Reaver, so really Meenix is picking up some momentum in terms of items now. That Lifestealer's looking scary.
Absolutely. Heart of Tarask, Salt Cuirass, Armlet. I mean, Lifestealer, he doesn't need damage items. He just, you know what I mean? He's just there. He's gonna lifesteal. He's gonna have that 12. Or sorry, how long does that unholy range last for? Or rage?
I think it's about like 10 seconds.
6 seconds. 6 seconds.
6, yeah, 6 seconds. So
he's gonna have that 6-second BKB anytime you fight him. So I mean, we'll see. But you know what actually surprised me? We were talking about that BKB on Alchemist and whether it was gonna be a factor, and I did feel like Alchemist did a bit more damage. I did feel like he stayed alive a little longer.
Yeah.
Maybe if Swag can dictate where this fight's going to happen a bit more and the terms of the engagement, I think this Alchemist might be a pretty card. He might surprise all of us.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how this is going to unfold, but just one notable mention for Meenix is Templar Assassin. I don't know if you've had a chance. Did you mention about TA?
I did not, actually. I saw her dive into the fight there, and I thought that was a little curious. I never knew TA to be one so gung-ho to get in the middle of a fight, but she did, and she was quite effective, I have to say.
And rightly so, because we're looking at the items right now on Templar Assassin. Has a Desolator and a Chrysalis sitting in the stash, so TA is looking pretty scary as well. So with Lifestealer and the Silencer, with that deadly 6 seconds ult of his, and look at this, Impale cast it on Lena, and oh my gosh,
that was
Lena just boom and she's gone.
That was a very poor play from Swag. We were talking about that Alchemist, and he just was up at that tier 1 tower for absolutely no reason. I don't know why he was there.
Yeah, it was a very questionable play, and just looking at structures right now, Magnus going in there with that reverse polarity, barely going to be able to survive that onslaught by TA. But yeah, structurally speaking, right now, Meenix has a huge lead for structures. They've only suffered one loss, one tier 1 tower loss. So
they are pushing down all 3 of these towers simultaneously. I'd like to point out. Max on top. They had TA on bottom and then 3 in the mid, and I think they're going to get all 3 actually. Yeah,
simultaneously. Like this is almost like a work of art in terms of pushing. Just seeing the damage that's being dealt here, and yeah, Lifestealer's like, yeah, go ahead and skewer me, buddy, taking him down. is Lifestealer. Magnus is out. Darkseer just being taken down as well, even despite the fact that Wall of Replica being out. But yeah, so much poise right now, and this confidence that Meenix is just demonstrating. Look at these racks just going down one after another. The _the Jesus calling the GG. Meenix is beating will win and defeat Team Swag, and for all the swag that Swag has, it's not enough.
It was not enough. Despite their insanely cool picture, their floor decal, it was just not enough.
Not enough. Not enough. It's going to be Meenix that will advance to, what is it now? This is our third round. We're in the semi-quarterfinals, I believe.
Getting very close to the finals. I know that.
Yeah, we are we are closing in on it. I'm just looking at the bracket right now, and just waiting for it to reload here. So yeah, that's it.
There goes the Ancient, a resounding 20,000 net worth from Lifestealer that game. From Lifestealer that game. Followed closely by TA at 19,000. What were the keys for Meenix's victory in that game, do you think?
Well, you know, I briefly mentioned about Neek's Assassin, like the success of teams that I've seen playing Neek's Assassin for a more damage-oriented role. I think Neek's played a considerable enough role for that Impale and the Vendetta. Like, you know, early on in the game, like we were talking about, like how he had so much presence in the jungle, and then, you know, you look at the efficient farming from Silencer, Templar Assassin,